Hi, we're at the Museum Restoration Shop in Muncie, Indiana. I'm Tom Schwinn with Nick Maxwell. Nick, welcome.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start flying, where you're from, and so on?
I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm 16 years old, and I've been flying helicopters for the last 5 years. We were out flying airplanes, and a helicopter guy was at a big meet, and he did a demo for us.
Okay.
And I really like flying helicopters.
And that got your hot button going.
Mm-hmm.
Good. What did you start with as your first bird, Nick?
A Hawk 30, Century.
The Century, okay. And that was glow-powered?
Yeah, 30.
All right. And did you start with that bird as just normal flying around, or did you start into aerobatics with that bird, or did you go to another bird that was a little more aerobatic on beyond the Hawk?
Went to a Raptor 30
okay.
For aerobatics. And the Hawk lasted for hovering and forward flight.
Yeah. So you put most of your learning curve on the Raptor?
Yes.
Okay. Nick, I understand you've been selected to go to the Extreme Flight Championships in Ohio. Tell us a little bit about the process, what you had to do to get selected, and a little bit about how it works.
You can submit a video to the committee, and it's a 4-minute video, and they will judge you and let you know if you made it or not.
When you're actually over there, what type of a routine do you do? Is it done to music? And give us an example of a couple maneuvers that might be considered to be complex that would be flown at that event.
You have an unknown and a known routine. The unknown, you can do whatever you want. It's your own, you can compose it, and it's all choreographed to music. The unknown is also choreographed to music, but you're required to do 3 known maneuvers. Those 3 known maneuvers are given to you, and then you mix them in at any point at the time of the known flight.
Now, we have here on the table a couple different examples of helicopters, one being probably the highest performance mini electric out now, the Align T-Rex, and then you've got a Raptor 90 here. What are you going to be flying over there in this particular, for the event this year? Are you going to be flying the Raptor, are you going to be flying the T-Rex, or do you know yet?
I'm not 100% sure, but right now it looks like the Raptor.
Okay. Tell us just a little bit about this Raptor so the guys know. It is the Raptor 90. What have you got in it as far as engine, power plant, gyro, brand, that kind of thing?
All the electronics are Futaba. Servos are 9451s. 148 DP PCM receiver. OS 91 C-Spec for the motor and muscle pipe 2. Gear ratio is 8.45 and GRI 601 for the gyro.
Okay. What are you running? Just guys are always curious as far as details. What are you running as far as the brand and the percentage of nitro in the fuel, etc.?
Right now, cool power 15%.
Okay.
Heli.
And just so everybody knows, it's not uncommon, is it, that the big block engines will run a little lower percentage of nitro than, say, the 30s or the 50s?
Yeah. Keeps them running a little bit cooler.
Are you happy with the performance on the 15? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it runs well.
Yep. Yep. That's all I've used.
Great. Give me an overview of when you're flying, say, the Glowbird compared to this one, what you have to do, if anything, in terms of difference in flying style, and what, if any, limits, or maybe you don't have any limits, that you can feel when you're flying the electric Mini 3D versus the 90-power Glowbird.
To start off with the limits, I would say wind. The Glow helicopter will take more wind. No doubt the T-Rex will fly in probably 20-mile-an-hour winds if you're careful. And pretty much that's it. As for power, they're both power-to-weight ratios pretty equal.
So your performance in your mind between the high-performance Align motor, which you have in this, right, and the 90, they're basically on par then?
Yeah.
You're saying it's power-to-weight is about the same?
Yeah. You have to be a little bit more easy on the collective with the electric, as it's got a smaller rotor disc. Yeah. So you have to be careful, because if you load it up,
bog it and go over the curve.
Yeah, it's not going to come back as easy.
Okay.
Also, of course, the T-Rex is going to be less stable, so you have to plan your maneuvers ahead of time. With the Glow helicopter, you can recover from most mistakes.
Yeah, you've got enough power to pull yourself out of almost anything.
Exactly. With the T-Rex, sometimes it'll bog.
Yeah, pull it down. In terms of your preference, do you prefer flying one over the other? I mean, assuming the conditions don't make any difference, you're not out in 25, 40-mile-an-hour gusts, do you find yourself leaning one way or another, or about the same? I mean, it just depends on what you feel like doing that day.
It really just depends on what I feel like doing. Yeah. You know, it's nice, plug it in and go. If you
on the electric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you have enough battery packs, you can fly for quite a long period of time. But then again, on the Glow, you feel a little bit more feels like you're flying something bigger. And
The stability.
Yeah.
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 That you're feeling it. Nick, I understand that you're going to go over to the 3D Masters in England. Congratulations.
Thanks.
On that subject, let's go through some basic building block maneuvers, flips, and so on, and show everyone how you build up into the sequence of doing that.
Okay. First, let's start out with a stationary flip. To do that, you want to be in a stationary hover with quite a bit in altitude, and you want to slowly apply positive pitch and down elevator. That will cause the helicopter to pivot forward, and soon the boom will be at 90 degrees. Once you reach that position, you want to zero out the pitch, so you're at 0 degrees pitch or center stick, and never let go of the cyclic or else the helicopter will be stuck in that position. It'll slowly dive. Then as you're flipping, you're going to hit inverted, and you'll add a little bit of negative pitch. Not too much, or else it'll shoot up inverted, and that leads to disorientation. And then as you're coming back down, it's going to flip right side up again. And same while you're at 90 degrees to the ground, you want to be at 0 pitch, and then come out positive back into a hover.
So that sounds like there's quite a bit of collective management there.
Yeah.
To keep the bird, one, at the altitude you want, and then two, not to get either disoriented or get into a position in terms of where you're behind the power curve.
Yeah.
That's neat. Let's go to another maneuver. Let's say, for example, and I know this is one that intrigues guys, you want to start learning how to fly in backwards flight. Say upright. How to fly backwards flight. Run through that for us.
Okay. If you start out from a hover, once again, you're going to, of course, pull back on the cyclic just a little bit. If you pull too much, the tail, of course, is going to go too much on you, and you're going to dive into the ground. The other thing is you're going to want to apply a little bit more positive. One thing is when you're flying backwards, it does take a little bit more positive pitch than flying forwards. And next, pretty much you're in backwards. You don't want to let off the elevator, as it will go back into a hover or forward. And just hold back. And to enter your first turn, you add a little bit of cyclic or tail rotor, depending on which way you want to turn.
Is there anything you have to do special with the rudder other than to enter a turn, Nick? Is there anything that you have to do different in flying in backwards flight than, say, forward?
Every once in a while, if you get it going real fast backwards, the tail will want to start to pivot or turn on you. If you notice a little bit of turning, just counteract for that, whichever way you want to do it. And always remember to fly the helicopter by the nose and not the tail.
Okay. In terms of say, taking these two basic building block maneuvers, give us an example of something that this would lead into in terms of a full maneuver, a series, that you might take these two and then do as a part of.
If you're going to be doing rolls, like stationary rolling, you could always do forward or backward rolling circuits. Of course, you would want to enter into your stationary rolling flips and slowly apply positive or negative, depending on which way you want to go. The best thing to practice is doing forward, stopping into stationary rolls, go backwards, then stop forwards, because turning, you start to get a lot of elevator and rudder interaction, and that just takes a lot of practice and timing.
Okay. If we summarize, Nick, between the electric and the glow-powered birds, it would be fair to say, would it not, that basically these aircraft are now all virtually on plane or on the same level of performances as the glow birds?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay,
Every
great.
maneuver you can do with the glow, you can do with the electric.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, and
you.
we're going to head out to the flying field and see what they look like in the air.
Great.
Nick, let's go ahead and see what it looks like now in 3D in actual flight.
Okay.
Well, Nick, that was fantastic. That shows us what a 3D bird will do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck at the XFC and also at the Masters.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.